Good morning. My name's Georgia Arms, and occasionally people will ask me why I chose Plexus. Wow, the truth is, I did not choose Plexus. In fact, it couldn't be further from the truth. But I want to tell you a funny story of how I did get involved and why it's been so impactful for me and my family. My daughter had heard from some friends that Plexus had the best probiotic out there. So she sought out a mutual friend, ordered a 3-part system for her daughter, who was at college. Her daughter, at age 5, had had a series of strep throat infections that ultimately ended in her tonsils being removed. But her strep throat would be so bad, the doctors would put her on a series of antibiotics, and that wouldn't work, so they would do another series, and that wouldn't work, so they would change types of antibiotic, and eventually were able to knock it out, of course. But in doing that, it also knocked out the healthy flora in her digestive system. So her tummy, bless her heart, from age 5 had been a mess. So for 15 years, she's been struggling with that. On day 8 of being on Plexus, she calls her mom and says, "Thank you." And she said, "This is a little bit of TMI, and I know it, but it's really important because there's so many people in the U.S. that have been on antibiotics. If you've ever been on antibiotics for, several days, it will destroy the healthy flora in your system." She was one. She said, "Mom, for the first time, the last 2 days, I've been able to have a normal BM. And for the first time that she could remember, she could eat a salad and not see it in the toilet just a few minutes later." She's living in a dorm, and her roommates told her that her gas was no longer as toxic as it was. Bless her heart. And she said, "Plus, I've lost 4 pounds in 8 days." So she's a happy girl. So my daughter, Lori Scott, called me and she says, "Mom," she said, "I knew about this 2 years ago, and I'm just kicking myself that I, didn't act on it sooner." But the truth is, she had bought probiotics from health food stores, from big box stores. She bought other probiotics, and they might help a little bit, but they never really eliminated the root of the problem, I guess. So she was feeling bad, and I was impressed, that it had this sort of effect for my granddaughter. So I said, "What else does Plexus have?" And she said, "Well," because my digestive system's okay, so I knew that wasn't something I was struggling with. And she said, "Well, they do have a weight loss package." And I'm like, I wanted to say a bad word, but I said, "No, absolutely not. I've wasted way too much money on weight loss things." And my husband's pretty picky about the weight loss things that I take because he's, in the medical profession as well. So I said, "No, not going to do it." And she said, "Well, they do have a 60-day money-back guarantee, so if it doesn't work, you can send it back and get your money back." So I rolled my eyes and I said, "Okay, I'll try it." So I'm going to put day 59 on my calendar, and I will be sending it back if it doesn't work. So I ordered it. I started, it's 2-part. I started on the Slim, which is a pink drink. It's our legendary item on the Plexus line. And it was developed to help diabetics and pre-diabetics and people who struggle to lose weight. Help stabilize their blood sugar, and it just kind of balances out their system. So that was the first one. I started on a Monday. On Saturday, I was volunteering for a nonprofit that I'm pretty passionate about. And I realized that some pretty excruciating pain in my shoulders that I'd had for about a year had gone from about a pain level of 8 to an occasional 1. And I'm thinking, the only thing different is Plexus. And believe me, I tried several things to try to get it to go away. So on the way home, I call my daughter, we chat, and I said, "Man, that's pretty amazing." So on Monday, when I'm home, I start on the second part, which is an accelerator, and it's to burn fat. So typically people who take that will lose inches before the scales even move. And that was true for me. but I did lose about, I think I'd lost 3 pounds at the end of the first 5 days. And so, but I took the accelerator. At the end of the day, I thought, man, my mood is so much better. And I realized that now I've never been one that thought I had hormonal issues. I guess a lot of us gals don't realize we do. But anyway, I noticed things that my husband and other people would say to me that normally would have agitated me a little bit, just sort of rolled off. And I thought, wow, I'm kind of liking the new Georgia. So anyway, I called my daughter and I said, hey, next time you're in Austin, let's move me from a preferred customer to an ambassador, because I have a feeling I'm going to be purchasing this for a while. And so she did. When she came in a week or two later, we switched me over, and it cost me $34.95. And I said, you know what? That's no different than a Sam's Club or Costco for me to be able to buy it wholesale. Shoot, yeah. So we did. And while I was doing that, my mother-in-law was sitting at the table with us, and she was hearing my story and what had happened to my granddaughter. And now she is a retired anesthetist. She's been in the medical profession for decades. Very smart, intelligent woman. And I love her dearly. And she's sitting there, she says, you know, I think I'd like to try this too. So she goes online and she registers and, to buy it wholesale. So I'm thinking, this is the craziest thing. I buy the Slim to help me lose weight, and it gets rid of the pain in my shoulders. I take the accelerator to help burn fat, and it improves my mood. I guess balances my hormones. So anyway, it has helped every member of my family. My mother-in-law registered, like I said. A few months later, she's able to come off blood pressure medicine and cholesterol meds. So we've had a huge success with Plexus in our family. So when people say, why did I choose Plexus? I really didn't. It just worked for me. I had no intentions of making Plexus a business. Actually, we were on vacation, and I got a text from the company saying they were depositing a certain amount of money in my account. And my daughter's there with me, and I'm like, Lori, why are they putting money in my account? I haven't sold a thing and had no intentions of selling anything. And she kind of giggled and told me a little bit about how it works. And the truth is, I had just been sharing my story and what it had done for my granddaughter, for my mother-in-law, for my husband, my son-in-law. I mean, all of us have had success. And people said, I want to try it. And they would go on and either become a customer like I did initially, or just say, I've wasted $35, going out to dinner at a time, and it's no big deal. So they'd rather buy it wholesale and jump in, as a member right away. So like I said, I hadn't sold a thing. But when they put that money in my account, it was more than enough to cover the cost of my supplements, what I was taking. The second month, it was enough to cover my car payment. And the third month was enough to cover my mortgage. So fast forward a few months, and one day my husband says, babe, why are you still working? Well, I loved my job. That's why I was still working, honestly. But I got to thinking about it, and I've been praying about it. And so between him and God, they convinced me that I really should just jump in, full time with Plexus. And that's what I did. But here's something else. Years ago, when my kids were small, friends of ours told us about Amway. And I started buying products from Amway. And I loved the products. And I loved the little extra money that I had coming in. And so I had done that, and I had no intentions of doing anything again. I still buy Amway products as far as that goes because I like them. And so anyway, here's what I learned, and I'm going to read these to you because there's several things here that I thought were pretty phenomenal. There's no big buy-ins. It's only $34.95 a year, to own your own business. There's no inventory. Like with Amway, we did inventory, and we stored products in our, created part of our garage dedicated for that. There's no monthly fees. I had lunch with a girlfriend last week that's in another relational marketing type business, and she said they have to pay a monthly fee for their web link for the website. We don't have to do that. We get it included for the $34.95. There's no selling requirements, thank God. And I mean, honestly, all you do is share. If you tell people about a great restaurant, a good movie, where you got your hair cut when people compliment it, you're doing the same thing with Plexus. This is what it did for me. And will it work for you? I don't know. The only way to know is for you to try it and see exactly how it's gonna work. There's no order processing and deliveries because everyone can go online and it's mailed directly to their mailbox. So it's about as convenient as it can be. There's no home parties required. I love a good party, and occasionally we'll have some, with some of the team, but it's not required at all. There's no cancellation fees if you decide to stop with Plexus. I like that. There's no seasonal product changes, like with the skincare and especially cosmetic lines. You do have a seasonal product that comes out, and then when that season's over, it's gone. So if you've put any in inventory, you just have it. This one I really love. Everybody is our market. Men, women, children, everybody, because it's about health. It helps with blood sugar leveling. It helps with inflammation, gut health, mood, energy. There's so many things it does. We have a very simple product line with only 16 natural, non-GMO, gluten-free, healthy products. They're inexpensive. I think we only have one item that's more than about 35 bucks. We get paid 5 times a month in 11 different ways. Pair all of that with the fact that Plexus grew 16,000% over a 3-year period, making it the 8th fastest growing company, privately held company in the United States in 2014. They have proven, documented clinical trials that support what we can tell people about it. I've told you about the 60-day money-back guarantee, but you know what? We have less than a 1% return rate, and literally thousands of testimonies out there. For those of us over 40, which is probably a lot of my friends, many of us are looking for health solutions that take care of the root of the problem instead of putting a Band-Aid on it. When we go to the doctor, a lot of time they'll give us a prescription pain med. They'll give us a prescription antibiotic. They'll give us a prescription to lower your blood pressure, to lower your cholesterol. But it doesn't take care of the root of the problem. That's what Plexus does. Plus, many of us are looking to supplement retirement. When that day comes, I want to be able to know that we're okay. And Larry's got a good retirement plan. I cannot complain, but I don't. So this is a way that I can work now while I'm younger and healthier and excited and feel good. And then if I need that residual income coming in later, it's there. So basically what I tell people is I love finding ways to help people with their health and to finance their dreams. I mean, that's bottom line. That's what I do. I get to work from home. I get to help other people do the same. So really that's it. I wanted to tell you why I Plexus. And I would be honored if you would consider giving Plexus a try, either as a customer, if you want to jump in at wholesale, as a business, that's an option too. Thank you for watching, and I'll get back with you in a couple of days. Bye-bye.